You know, we all love a comeback. There's just something about somebody getting knocked down and then getting back up over and over again, and we all pull for that.
We do, and for a kid at Powell High, coming back has pretty much been a way of life. Local 8 sports anchor Daryl Hobby introduces us to a comeback kid who refuses to stay on the mat.
At an early age, Hunter Thomas was told he would walk with a limp, and he'd have to use his brain because he would be limited physically. As you're about to see, Hunter Thomas was not listening. Hunter Thomas packs a punch.
I always looked up to the black belts at the karate school. I always wanted to be one of them.
Today, he is, and as powerful as his punch,
Down!
It has nothing on his perseverance. Long before this comeback kid kicked his way to tons of trophies, he was learning to live a life not normal.
There is a certain level of deformity that folks are either born with, or the emerging thought is now, as children get active earlier but also specialize in certain sports earlier, that their bones actually deform to accommodate a higher level of function in certain sports.
He became affected at age 3 and he started to crawl again, and when we asked him to get up and walk, he told us that his legs hurt.
The diagnosis, a hip disorder, and so at age 4, Hunter had his first surgery.
I improved, and they told me that the chance of me getting this disease in my right leg is not very high.
But 5 years later, the disease did.
My right hip started hurting me.
And as a 9-year-old, surgery was far more complicated.
And it put him in a body cast from his chest to his ankles. He was in that for almost 7 months.
It was during this time Hunter found karate at the Wheeler Academy.
I always just rolled in here in a wheelchair to watch my brother do karate class.
And once out of the cast and walking, karate served as therapy.
And I started getting better, and they just kept motivating me to do different things.
At 12, he was a 2-time national champion.
It was hard to sit back and bite your tongue and not, tell him, I don't think you should do that, Hunter, because the more that he pushed himself, the better he became physically.
So strong that by the age of 15, Hunter kicked his way all the way to a black belt. The wins and trophies were mounting until an all too familiar feeling returned last summer. And that feeling led to yet another surgery. Getting back on the mat started at square one.
And there are techniques to deal with the deformity, repair the damage that's been done.
He was bedridden for 2 months. During that time, he had to lock his leg into a machine. The machine pulled his leg up to his chest. He did that 6 hours a day.
It was much harder since I was older. It was kind of hard, but I just knew I made it through 2 other ones, and I could probably just pass through it. I pushed through it.
A year after that surgery, Hunter is back, punching, kicking, instructing, and without a limp. Now, as for Hunter's medical future, doctors believe the most recent surgery will be his last until he reaches his 40s or 50s. At that point in time, Hunter will have to have a hip replacement.
And that's when he'll take up some amazing sport and conquer that as well.
And conquer that, yeah, you're right. Well, the condition Hunter suffers from is called leg Calvi-Perthes disease. And research shows that many cases actually go undiagnosed. A lot of doctors just dismiss it as growing pains.
And one of the reasons he did this story with us, it's Hunter's hope that by doing the story, letting you see what he went through and what he is going through now, it'll bring awareness to that childhood disease. And maybe you can do something to help.